It's just a total community effort, and not just Corvallis, but all of Oregon, really. Everybody worked together.
Grew up in Veneta, small town, tight-knit community, everyone knew everyone. Brooke had struggled early in life. As a young child, she had severe speech difficulties. She couldn't speak properly for years. She started to talk when she was 4. When Brooke was 16, she started dating her oldest childhood friend, Justin Eaton. May 2004, she's on break and decides to visit her sister Stephanie and her husband in Corvallis. Stephanie lived at the Oak Park Apartments around 10 a.m. Stephanie looked out from her window and saw Brooke filling a bucket water to go and clean some of the lights and with. A few hours later, Stephanie, who had been busy making lunch for her children and sister, suddenly noticed the time. It was now way past 1 p.m. Brooke was late. Stephanie grabbed her kids, jokingly saying to them, "Okay, let's send the search party out." She walked around the building and suddenly she saw something that made her feel a bit uneasy. The bucket of water Brooke had been filling up along with her cleaning supplies was sat by a nearby lamppost. As she walked closer, the flip-flops Brooke had wearing that day were there too. They were covered in mud. It looked like she had been physically dragged out of them as she was trying to stay where she was. Stephanie's called her husband. They looked around and realized her phone, bag and wallet were all inside her locked car. Just after 3 p.m., they knew it was time to call 911.
911, what's your emergency? Yeah, I've got someone who's missing, a worker of mine that we can't seem to find. I'm from where? I'm the manager of the Oak Park Apartments, and this worker actually happens to be my sister-in-law. She's 19. When was the last time anybody saw her? Around 10:30.
Police arrive within minutes, but the trail is already cold. Within hours, this becomes every parent's nightmare. Law enforcement floods the area. They find witnesses who saw a green minivan, possibly a Ford Econoline or similar, acting suspiciously around the complex that morning. Some reported seeing a man in the driver's seat, descriptions varying but consistent enough to work with. But here's the gut punch. Despite being a busy apartment complex on a Monday morning, no one got a plate number. No one got a crystal clear look at the driver. The van just vanished, along with Brooke.
Individuals or this community to be defined by
We're talking FBI involvement, volunteer searches spanning miles of Oregon wilderness, billboards, news coverage, the works. Her face is everywhere. The Wilberger family, devout, heartbroken, pleads publicly for any information.
If anyone has seen Brooke at all, if they would just please call in.
Months pass, then years. Tips come in by the thousands. Psychics offer their services. Alleged sightings pop up across multiple states. Every single lead goes nowhere. It's like Brooke fell off the face of the earth. Her family never stops believing she might be alive somewhere. Her mom keeps Brooke's room exactly as she left it. They hold vigils. The community refuses crime scene. No solid suspect. Just a green van that might as well have been a ghost. September 2009, Albuquerque, New Mexico. A young woman is walking to her car at an apartment complex. Sound familiar? It's late afternoon. She's got her keys out, almost to her vehicle, when suddenly a man rushes her from behind. He grabs her violently, tries to force her toward his vehicle, but this woman? She's not having it. She fights back with everything she's got, screaming, kicking, clawing. She manages to break free from his grip and runs. Other people hear the commotion and come outside. The attacker realizes he's lost the element of surprise and flees, but not before witnesses get a good look at him and his vehicle. Police arrive. The woman gives a detailed description. Investigators canvass the area and identify the suspect, Joel Courtney. Mid-40s, construction worker, living in New Mexico but with a history of moving around. They arrest him, and when they start digging into Joel Courtney's life, they find something that makes their blood run cold. Joel Courtney wasn't just some guy who snapped one day. He had a history, a pattern, an obsession. Courtney came from what appeared to be a normal family, but those who knew him described unsettling behavior going back. Firm he owned a green minivan during that time period. Oregon detectives fly to New Mexico. Joel Courtney's confession is horrifying in its details.
Good afternoon. I'm Natalie Marmee, and General Hospital will be seen at a later time. Right now, we're bringing you the latest in breaking news in the disappearance of Brooke Wilberger. We now know police believe Brooke was murdered, and police believe a man currently sitting in an Albuquerque jail was the one who killed her.
On May 24, 2004, he was driving around the Oak Park apartments in Corvallis, hunting. That's what it was. Hunting for a victim. He saw Brooke alone, working outside, vulnerable. He parked his green minivan nearby and approached her. He grabbed and determined, fought him. She resisted, tried to scream, tried to get away, but Courtney was bigger, stronger, and he had the element of surprise. He overpowered her, forced her into the van, and drove away before anyone could intervene. He didn't kill her immediately. That's the part that destroys you. Courtney drove Brooke to a remote location in the Coast Range Mountains of Oregon. He held her captive for hours, an entire night. He had a knife. He threatened her with it, controlled her with it. Brooke, even in absolute terror, remained strong. Courtney later admitted she was powerful, defiant, even in the worst circumstances. Courtney raped her, brutally, repeatedly. And when he was done, when he decided she'd seen his face and could identify him, he killed her. He strangled her to death in those mountains, alone, terrified, 19 years old. Debris, then drove away like nothing had happened. For 5 years, Brooke Wilberger lay in that unmarked grave without the possibility of parole. Oregon honored the deal, no death penalty, despite many people, including some in Brooke's family, wanting him executed. Some were linked to other potential victims or incidents across multiple states. Courtney had been doing this for years, preying on women, feeding his sick compulsion. The Wilberger family, devastated but finally able to grieve properly, held Brooke's funeral. Thousands attended. The community came together to honor a young woman whose life was stolen by a monster in a green van. This case haunts people because of how random it was. Brooke was doing something completely ordinary, helping her sister with chores, and in minutes, her life was stolen by a predator who happened to be driving by, hunting. But it also reminds us that Brooke fought, even in her darkest moments, held captive by a man with a knife. She remained strong. That's the legacy her family once remembered. Not just the tragedy, but the fighter she was from childhood to her final moments. Joel Courtney is still in prison. He'll die there.
A Rancho man who faces a murder charge in a highly publicized Oregon case has been sentenced to 18 years in prison for kidnapping and raping a University of New Mexico foreign exchange student back in 2004.
Joel eventually pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 18 years for kidnap and rape. At his sentencing, he continued to disrespect the court and the judge.
Have no respect for this court. You're the rudest person I've ever met. I would spit in your face if I was close enough.
And Brooke. She's remembered not as a victim, but as a vibrant young woman whose life mattered, whose family never gave up, and whose story, tragic as it is, helped bring changes that might save someone else. Sometimes the monster is just a guy in a van with a sick obsession, and sometimes justice takes 5 agonizing years. Rest in peace, Brooke Wilberger.